Welcome. Glad to have you with us. So this is my favorite prayer from when I was a kid, and over the years, it's remained one of my favorite prayers because it keeps taking on a new level of meaning. So I'm looking forward to sharing this with you tonight. It's the prayer of St. Francis of Assisi, who was like the original Dr. Doolittle for real. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be understood as to understand, to pardon, to be pardoned as to pardon, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned. It is in the dying of the self that we are born to eternal life. Welcome to Be in the Light. We're on it. We're on another one again. Let me just say, hey, Evie, how you feeling out there? Everything going good? Me and my shadow, always good to see you. Welcome, Carol. Jennifer Rose, the fabulous Ms. Rose. You know, that was a great show on Friday with Colin. I just, I've got Colin's going to be on my show next week. And just from that show, I've got about 25 questions. I'd need half a day. Anyway, keep up the good work. Fabulous show. If you guys haven't caught it, Colin Walker on Embracing Infinity. Jennifer just had him on this last Friday. So, go scope it out in the live section on the Sacred Spiral Network. Really super cool. Rick Midler, good to see you, my brother. Jennifer McCormick, always good to see you. Yes. Evelyn, nice. All right. So, while we're still on the topic of shows, Karen Bonafiglio with her show Inner Realms, I screwed this up. I practiced 12 times. Inner Realms, Outer Journeys. And really great show. She comes on right before we do. And make sure you hang out for Jennifer Rose and the Love Show after this one. It should be a really fun evening. Mary Jo, welcome. Glad to see you. Yeah, this is a little tidbit. I was talking to Lynn Juno, and I got to meet her husband, James, this weekend. Super cool guy, man. And watching those guys and their energy, they're so perfect together, and they love each other so much. It was just a wonderful, wonderful thing to just kind of bask in that energy. Anyway, James and I were kind of getting to know each other, and he was talking about some of the things that influenced him. And he brings up one of my favorite, least known mystics, psychics. He's way more than that. He's like our century's Renaissance man. And the name of it is The Secret of Light. By Walter Russell. And this guy was an amazing artist, a mathematician, amazing. So I took the opportunity this weekend after we talked to bust it open, and like it's a whole nother level. It's one of those books that like you read and you understand it and you like put it down for a few years and you keep learning and learning and learning and go back and check it out, and it's like a whole new level of understanding for it. So can't as a matter of fact, I think like I love this guy so much. I think I'm going to do a show on Walter Russell and just kind of introduce you to him. Yeah, I want to thank my sponsors, Fried Okra Entertainment, and my good friend and brother Ernie Mosteller. Make sure you check out his Instagram page, amazing photography, and my other angel Audrey Asciutto from Audrey's Place here in Sebring. Great place to stay if you're in the little scenic town of Sebring. I love this place, by the way. I lived in Miami for like 30 years. And man, it's really intense. But I've always lived in big cities, except for a little stint in a little place in Virginia called Roanoke. But other than that, I've always lived in a big metropolitan urban place. And this place has got like 10,000, 11,000 people, and it's just a little chunk of peace right in the middle of Florida, right next to a lake. I get to go watch the sunset every night. And I'm like, wow, thank you so much. I'll tell the story about how I got here. It's kind of crazy one of these days. I'm going to do that tonight. Mr. Morrison, welcome to the crew. Good to see you. Okay. We are going to talk about duality tonight, a subject near and really dear to my heart. And it's been a realization and something I've kind of been on a quest about for decades. I know I say that all the time, but it's the truth. I'm big about, I'm big about numbers, and I took apart my name, my last name, and I wound up like channeling this like sentences that began with those first letters, and I'm like, wow, that's really crazy. And it turned out to be love and hate resolved. And I added each of those lines, and they all came out as my numbers, and I totaled them all up, and they came out as like my power number. And it really opened some doors, and a lot of doors started opening after that, and kind of gave me a really deep insight into sort of the nature of my journey through this space, and made me aware of some other past things from past spaces that I've continued to bring, and that became a real quest to deal with that and face all of that. This has been such a karmic incarnation for me in every way, shape, or form. Yeah, and the duality of the dark and the light and everything in between, and what a crazy quest. So anyway, we're going to get deeply into that. I wanted to toss something out to you guys first here, though. I'm really curious, like the guys that are showing up like every show and participating. What's your favorite part of the practice session? Do you like the meditations, the readings? Are you down for the lessons? I really love your input, and I'm always trying to evolve the show and make it better. And if you have any thoughts on that you'd like to share, I would really welcome those. All right, duality. Duality is part of every single aspect of the manifest universe. If it's manifested, it's a duality. And as I've studied Kabbalah and a bunch of other disciplines, their very first thing, it's like there was still potential, and there was consciousness that separated from that and started considering itself, and that was the birth of duality. And in that considering, like, there were just creating was happening everywhere, and those things that were created were creating. And it's really impossible. I've tried really hard to find an exception to duality in this sphere. And I honestly can say it doesn't exist. And the point to that being is understanding your shadow. You're never going to make your shadow go away. You're never going to get rid of darkness. You know, it's part of our reality that we live in. You get to make the choice. And that's the greatest gift we were given with our consciousness, is our free choice. We get to choose whatever. We get to be the creator in our own universe. Oh, Jennifer McCormick says, love the energy, meditation, the whole vibe. Okay, well, awesome. Thank you very much. We're going to do a really fun meditation tonight too, man. So stick around. Let's see here. What's this one? Oh, okay. What a good idea. Would love some live art. Well, I don't really have any, maybe I actually was thinking about trying to figure out how to do a light painting with us. So maybe that'll help it happen. But I'm also really excited about having my new friend, Jamie Wilkins, who's been on Jennifer's show as well. I guess I'm poaching all of her good guests, man. Sorry about that, Jennifer. Don't mean to be a stealer, but like I just so dug Jamie's vibe and where he comes from and stuff. He's a really accomplished composer, musician, in addition to his spiritual skills. So I got to striking up a conversation with him, and we're going to do some the little technique where I take a name and break it down into numbers, and then make those numbers into musical notes, and then compose a song, with that intrinsic musical sequence. Hi, Charlene, what's up? And he's agreed to like kind of dive in and play in the sandbox with me, man. So I'm just so I'm so super stoked about that. Yes. Evelyn says, I personally love the meditations going down to zero. Good. I'm really happy. The teachings of easy tools we can do. Yes. I love how how I always feel better after the show. Okay. Thank you so much, man. That's the best thing you could have told me. And that's the entire intent here, for sure. It's really fun watching you guys growing and learning, and you bring so much to this like little family. I'm enjoying it immensely. And I want to give you a heads up. Well, no, I'll save that for later. All right. So duality. Hang on one second. The ultimate symbol of duality, the yin and yang symbol. And, not everybody realizes what this symbol actually means. This is a graphic depiction of our nature as individuals, but also as the universe as a whole. And it's a balance between the black and the white and the black and the white, and the fact that they're spinning. Here we go back to the spinning thing again. And yeah, we're going to get really intense with that in just a second. And those two parts need both parts to exist in this realm, in this frequency. The key to this is, You don't have to be in either one of them. The center point that we ride down to, that point of stillness at the end, when you get to blank space fully, is the little dot right in the very center of the circle, where the light and the dark come together, but they don't blend. They don't actually touch. There's like a little space in there. And that's where we hopefully live, because that's the space, that's blank space, that's the superposition quantum field. That's the place where you can ride to any place in the multiverse, and it's the spot of ultimate centeredness and neutrality. And that's a great mode to be. It also, the whole spinning thing, like everything in the universe spins. Like it looks like a mountain, but you start breaking it down, you get into molecules, you get into atoms, you get into like the myriad of particles that go down below that, and they're all spinning. It's just kind of the nature of this. Every galaxy is spinning, like the planets are all spinning, except Uranus, which is rolling because it got hit with a meteor, or actually maybe a small planet. But everything is going in that cyclical scenario, right? Lynn, what's up? Vivian, good to see you. Bernadette, glad to have you with us. Yes. So, okay, let me get rid of this one and bring up the other one here. Oh, there we go. All right. I love this one. I love this depiction of the yin and yang beyond words. The colors that radiate out, like it's the whole chakra system, and it really kind of represents you, and like that spot of white, but it's all way smaller. It's like smaller than a particle. Phenomenal graphic. So you're never going to get rid of black and white. Black and white are part of this. The key is to find your balance with it and choose to where you direct your attention and what you want to manifest in this life. Neither one of those are going to destroy the other one, just like you're not going to destroy your shadow inside you. And coming to resolve and addressing those shadow issues and finding your wholeness, it's all about the unification, and we're all about opposites, male and female energy. I mean, I've taken both of those to crazy extremes, but like right here in the center with just the blend that gives you the ability to be able to use those in any way you want. And you're not like, anytime you're out on the extremes, you're at the most powerful point of that particular thing, but you're cut off from all the other options. And I like having all my options and being at that point right in the very middle. So the quest for unification, the more your shadow gets dealt with and talked to and brought into the fold, and your consciousness, your subconsciousness are working in tandem instead of against each other, man, life runs so much more efficiently and smoothly and peacefully, and you accomplish stuff. Like one of my early jags into looking at this issue was how I would create all this stuff and get it right to the end and like do some self-sabotage thing. It would just be stupid. And I realized that was, fear-based stuff. That was really deep shadow stuff that over the years I've worked on and resolved and gotten to a really good place with. And now those things don't really happen. Like they flow now. The universe or the world shows up to put roadblocks in your way. Sometimes those seem like um, almost like things being done to you. But, when you get to a certain point on your path, sometimes those things wind up being the little exercises and tests you need to like focus and elevate up to the next level and the next level. So I bless them all. And, I love my shadow. My shadow's turned out to be a pretty good friend. So I encourage you guys to really dive in and think about the nature of duality. You never, yeah, think about the nature of duality. Hello, Mr. Zen. Dr. Zen, we meet again. I don't know what it is about Dr. Zen, or Michael Zen, but like every time I say his name, I want to be a James Bond villain. I think it was Goldfinger that talked with the, yes, Dr. Zen, we meet again. When you're whole and you meet whole people, relationships are a lot more fun. That was talking to Lynn and James yesterday. I was like, wow, man, both these people are like complete. and that's why they work off each other so much. When you find, like I've talked about this before, I've had like less than a handful of people that like don't just resonate in a harmonious way, but there's a certain resonance when two whole people come together and mix that energy, and it winds up growing and amplifying instead of just flowing, and it creates a third thing that's bigger than both of you. And oh, that is such a beautiful experience. And that energy of like that merge of two wholes, ecstasy in every way, shape, or form, and a very powerful space. I've done some really intense work from that space that manifested amazingly well. All right. I want to show you one more thing before we get off of the yin and yang. All right. This is kind of a crazy little thing. This is going to spin. I couldn't help myself. This is going to spin and it's going to go really super fast. And those little dots and stuff are going to get kind of flashy. So if that annoys you or you have some sort of issue with flash frames, look away from this for a minute or so. It's pretty short, but I think you will really dig it. Yeah. See, there you go. The negative cycle. It's still going in the same position. That's the thing. Yeah, and those blends, the way they become other things. Yeah. All right. That's my deal for duality tonight. Unless anybody's got some questions out there. Let's see. Making understanding who you actually are, not who your ego wants to put forth as you. When you really strip off all of the necessity to look a certain way, even to especially to yourself, and you just look at yourself objectively, that's when you can start making some real progress towards that. And when you finally get to the point that you realize that you are a spark of the divine source, not a concept, a reality, and that energy is accessible to you every second of the day. And fostering that connection and living in that connection. I told you guys about my as a matter of fact, I did a show on this where we did a meditation rising up all the way through the layers of realities to the source itself. Um, that was a very real thing that happened for me about, like, I guess about 8 months ago now. And it changed my life in so many ways. I can't even tell you. And my perspective on things, the way I go after life, like, it just gave me so many answers, so much peace. And I go there all the time now, all the time. And every time I go back and I go home and I merge, the only place where there is no duality. Every time I realize I have to come back, I get a little sad and I go, oh man, that's just, I really hate that. But the truth of the matter is, I've noticed, like, every time I like release and let go, I bring some of that light back with me again. And, maybe one of these days I'll start glowing. if I'm sitting there like shining, you know what happened. But, and that's something, like, if you guys would be interested in doing that, I'd be delighted to do that meditation again. It's one of my favorite places in the world. Okay, let's see, how are we doing for time? Ooh, all right. We'll talk to I want to talk to you a little bit about um, visualization. Visualization is the one of the keys, or at least from my journey and the path and teachers I've had. Um, Visualization is like the inception and one of the key parts of manifestation. And, like, when we do our blank space meditation and we're down in that space where you're at, superposition quantum field, which is ultimate potential. And from that space, when we go to the energetic ocean, that's a place for me now. I've put so much energy into that, and putting energy into the quantum field to go there, like, takes that out of just an imaginary thing and makes that into an astral frequency that's now part of your universe that you can, like, travel back to whenever you want. Hey, Nancy, good to see you. Yeah. So, as we come out of that meditation and you're constructing that world, like, when I see myself in that place, I'm just floating. My body's not flesh anymore. It's like clear glass that's transparent, and I can see all of the electrical uh, circuits and flows through my whole body, and it's just like I'm just energy now. And all around me, it's like I kind of see it at dusk. I love that time of night where the sky is starting to get purple and you're getting a little bit of the orangey glow, and it's reflecting off the surface of the calm water, and it's all gold, and energy's flowing around in the ocean. And it's like, um this place that's made just for me. And, like, it's so easy just to stay in the moment in that space. And when we're doing the inhale and we're taking in that energy from the ocean around us, it's like we're drawing in actual source energy that, like, infuses that whole system of energy. And it's a really wonderful space. Oh, I I can't leave out the shooting stars and the whole like sky being just like so. My mom used to live in a really small town about an hour north of Phoenix out in Arizona, and I'd go visit her every year in February. It'd be cold as hell, and I'd go out at 2, 3 in the morning, and it looked bright. How have I not seen all of these stars? And you can see the Milky Way. Seeing the Milky Way is a great. That is such a breathtaking um, uh, uh, scene. It really is, and it makes you feel huge and minuscule all at the same time. Um, so I've got the meteors, I've got the beautiful sky. Sometimes I have the moon and it's reflecting too. I've got the beautiful golden water, and it's so clear in my mind. I've like painted it so detailed that the more detail you give that, the more intense that uh, construct becomes. Um, so we won't do this tonight, but maybe next week we'll do. Oh, well, Colin's on next week. One of these days we're gonna change it up from the ocean. We're gonna ride up to the sky and play with the clouds and maybe some lightning and create some wind, and it'll be really fun. I think we'll really dig it. All right, so I'm talking too much. I need to be quiet. We're gonna do a little sacred space. Always my favorite part. And a little ride down the blank space. And you guys, I'm always doing readings at the end of the show. So if anybody's interested, let me know in a little bit. All right, here we go. With the brilliant light of the source, I banish and clean this space and make this place pure. With the radiant light of the source, the true light, I banish and clean this space. I make this place pure. With the light and infinite love of the source, I banish and clean this space. I make this place pure. We come together tonight in joy and gratitude for our energetic family to create our sacred space, our place of safety, sanctuary, and light. We ask that our angels, they're already here, and they're very loud tonight. We ask that our angels, guides, and allies be with us, share their knowledge, their wisdom, their love of the source. We ask that we have eyes to see, ears to hear, and the wisdom to understand. And with absolute gratitude for all of it, the good, the bad, and especially the ugly. Infinite unconditional love and our wish for bliss to the source, we open our circle. I love it when we connect. Ooh, it just feels like this energetic network out there. It's beautiful. All right, here we go. We're going to ride down to blank space. Um, just follow along. You guys have already been here. KJ, welcome. All right, so on the inhale, we're going to draw in really deep. Take a deep breath as much as you can. When you think you're full, pack a little more in there. Draw with your solar plexus and take it in through your nose. Let it not be air, but make that into brilliant golden, warm, healing source energy. Let it just infuse your whole body. If you have something that you need to heal, something specific, before we start, just focus your intent on that place and send all of that energy there. Let it infuse your body, let it brighten up your light body, and let's just get all nice and sparkly. All right, we're going to do 3 of those as always. On the hold, on the exhale, right, as always, just follow my voice down. When you hear the word silence, just freeze frame. Don't think, just let your body like shut off everything, just like you hit the light switch and you're just frozen. We're going to hold that for 6 or 8 seconds, continue to write that groove, make it easier and easier to get there. Actually, I've gotten a little input from some of you that it is getting easier. So super excited about that. All right. We're going to do 2 where we'll do hold 8-10 seconds. The last one we'll hold for 30 seconds. If you can't hold your breath that long, the important part is to teach yourself to stay in the blank space mindset or lack of mindset, and just take enough of a shallow breath that you're not thinking about a breathe, but you're just bringing in enough just to keep you smooth and in that space. And we're going to hold that for 30 seconds. All right. Oh, I so can't wait to get there. Here we go. Inhale, use your solar plexus. Drawing the golden light into the nose. Much as you can, really pack it in. And release the chaos, the static, the noise of the world fading into the distance. No mind. Deeper, deeper silence. And inhale, bright golden energy. Fuse your whole body. And release, sinking deeper and deeper into the bliss of the silence. No future, no past, deeper silence. All right, last one. We're going to hold this one. Make it count. Inhale. Really stretch, pack it in. Think you're full. Add some more. And release. Turning off your machine. Everything slowing to a still. Deeper. Silence. $15. And 30. Stay right in that space. Nice shallow breath. Perfectly relaxed. And bring yourself to floating on the ocean. Place where you're safe. Perfect in every way. All right, we're going to do a 4-4-8-4 box breathing. You guys know the drill. When you're inhaling, draw in the ocean, draw in the energy from the ocean. When you're exhaling, make sure you do a deep resonant hum. A deep resonant hum, and push out any negative energy or any energy that just needs replacing. And we're going to get all nice and refurbished. All right. Here we go. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. Inhale. Draw. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Exhale. Push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Exhale. Hum it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. Inhale. This is the last one. Make it count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And rest. Just be still for 10 seconds or so. Let that energy infuse all through you. Step outside yourself and look at it. You see the energy flows. And realize that you're light. You're only flesh for the moment. Your light is eternal. All right. Take a nice deep breath and start coming back to your body. Slowly. Bring the perfection of that space back with you. Make that your space. All right. That was yummy. Hey, what's up, Arnie? I'm glad you could make it, man. Lynn Juno, yours must have been burning tonight. I've been talking about you a bunch. I so enjoyed meeting James and sharing our Walter Russell connection, and I shared that with everybody. Yeah, so glad you could make it. All right, anybody looking for a reading out there, let me know. I pulled a group card. This is my, it doesn't really get any better than this. I screwed up and didn't get ready. This is number 27. Oh, by the way, I finally retired my old angel deck. I've got my new silver crusted goodies, and so this is my first reading with these cards. All right, number 27, the angel of the expiation of light. Victory, victory, victory. Keep the faith. The news you've been waiting for is coming in, and you can win all your dreams. Don't give up. Keep trying. You will succeed. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe that you are a part of the source. And that changes everything. It sounds like just a concept, but it changes everything. Know that you've been given the skills and the opportunities to realize your hopes and dreams for the future. Relax and concentrate on the task at hand. You will succeed. You will know victory over the of the will over the physical world. Yeah. The ability to change the course of destiny and thoughts. Success comes from gathering an excellent team to work together. You have the ability to persuade, influence, and counsel. And from your struggle to develop your ideas, there will emerge a dominant theme. Not everyone or everything is trustworthy. Use your intuition. You will feel when something is not right and the red lights go on. Make sure you trust that. Shift your emphasis from your problems to your joys. See your victory, assume it's done. Your optimism will produce the very success it desires and expects. Yes. All right. Okay. All right. Looks like we got a few people hanging out here. Um, Charlene, this one's for you, girl. Take three nice, really deep breaths and just get to that centered space. Really focus. If you have something specific, really beam that to me, okay? Hmm. Words of wisdom from my friend Charlene. Words of wisdom from my friend Charlene. Words of wisdom. For my friend Charlene. Number 60, the angel of intellectual reparation. You let your emotions fly the second you feel them without a moment to contemplate the consequences. Sometimes it can lead to emotional excess. Now the energy has been released and your cards are played. Begin to organize your life and gain some stability. Balance your emotions with your mind and spirit. Allow yourself to experience generosity. You know, don't let people like push you off your center. Don't let what you think somebody's opinion of you push you off your center and go down that spiral. It's so much energy that you could use for your own joy in so many ways. Allow yourself to experience generosity and freedom as you begin to give your life some structure. Honor your inner and outer limits now. Using the material as an illusion for security is false methodology. Once you've become balanced and stable within yourself, the whole unification thing we talked about, it's crazy the way these cards, like, okay. Having found the security within, you will no longer need to hold on to anything or anyone else's opinions. You will recognize that when you are confronted with loss or an obstacle, you need only establish new plans, have them ready, and be ready to take one step in front of the other. This the tarot card that goes with this is the Four of Pentacles, which is about stability. All the fours are about stability, like the wands are the four corners of the celebration tent. This is like a box that like holds your finances, your monies, like the things you've accumulated, like you put in this box. That's a really cool place. It's a safe place, but there is also a caution to that part to let that flow and put that out into the system so that it's alive and it won't just sit there in that box and fritter away, right? You're a really intense person. You feel things really deeply. And, you know, that's one of your opportunities that you have this lifetime to just find blank space. That exercise, like, solves so many problems. All right. Arnie, this one's for you, man. You know the drill, my brother. 3 nice deep breaths. Get really focused. They said to tell you that this card might not mean like it might not be a lightning bolt right now. If it does not like hit right away, give it a couple days. Of course, that's not necessarily the case. Words of wisdom for my friend Arnie. Words of wisdom. For my good friend Arnie. Words of wisdom for my good friend Arnie. All right, number 20, the angel of redemption. It seems to be a theme. Control your emotions. You know, last week on the show, I pulled this card for someone, and as soon as I said control your emotions, the power in my house went out. It was so crazy. Control your emotions. You let your empathy run away until you are lost in each other's feelings. You can forget whose feelings are whose. You want to take on healing everyone you meet. Conflicts and intense misunderstandings can throw your relationships out of order. If your ego demands that it is right and digs in, it can make you brittle and inflexible. If your own pride, if you are too possessive or too demanding, your own pride can destroy love. The protection of your ego is an illusion and not worth the price you will have to pay. Man, that is so true. Everything cannot be perfect all the time, and an all or nothing attitude will deprive you of exactly what you need. Try not to repress your emotions, but learn to experience them and let them flow through you. Maybe not so much reaction and more objective observation of them. Like, because they're a thing, they're not like your emotions are not you either. They're the reactions that you have to input outside the world. Try not to repress your emotions, but learn to experience them and let them flow through you. Learn to emotionally resurrect and recharge yourself. Blank space, brother. Energetic ocean. There you go. You are capable of experiencing great joy. I know this is true. You are capable of experiencing great joy even in the direst of times. And the tarot card that goes with this is the Two of Cups. And that's where a spark of love, sometimes that, depending on what the readings is about, but it can also be your spirit. It can also be something you're learning and really super committed to. There's like this new spark of love. You know, the the Ace of Cups is kind of like that moment where you've been shut off from love for a long time, and it's like this blooming inside you where you feel like, I'm really ready for that now. Like, but you don't have anything specific in mind. One day after work, you're walking down, you step into a bar and sit down and have a drink, and you look up across the bar and like you see somebody and their eyes light up and your eyes light up and you feel this woo go up your spine, and you strike up a conversation, and the next thing you know, guys are getting married. So it's like, it's a really cool relationship card. And that relationship can be with somebody else, but that relationship can also be with yourself and who you really are. Yeah. All right. This one is for Jennifer McCormick. Let me make sure I've got everybody here. All right, Bernadette, we'll get you too. All right, we're still doing pretty good. Jennifer McCormick, you know the drill, girl. Really focus. They are quite a loud little crowd this evening. That's how they get when they're happy. You know, even angels have duality. The duality of the Shem Forest angels are the goetic demons on the other side of that. It's like you just never can find an exception. All right. I'm sorry, Jennifer. Let me get back on you. Words of wisdom from my friend Jennifer. Words of wisdom from my friend Jennifer. Words of wisdom from my friend Jennifer. This is a good one. Number 24, the angel of protection. Oh, Jennifer, my pleasure. Okay. You are getting their attention, and the results are starting to come in. A new relationship is possible. You've been asleep. Time to wake up to the world and all its opportunities. Always believe that there will be positive change. Stop worrying. Grab your thumb and stop worrying. New possibilities and opportunities will be offered in abundance. There are new relationships and new ideas waiting to be discovered. Trust and believe that your ideas are good, and have a little more patience. When it looks like nothing is happening, get ready for an exciting surprise. Your enthusiasm will overflow your cup. Seize the opportunity and the moment. You will know the joy and the best of both worlds. Yeah, I don't need to add anything to that. If you've got, feels like there's a new job or occupation or like education thing that you're thinking about, feels more like a job than that though. But that could be looming out on the very near horizon. All right, Bernadette, this one is for you. Three deep breaths, Bernadette. Get nice and focused. Words of wisdom from my friend Bernadette. Words of wisdom from my friend Bernadette. Words of wisdom for my friend Bernadette. Number 55, master number, angel of intellectual lucidity. You are an awesome multitasker and have learned to balance several situations simultaneously. But so much more can be accomplished when you finally decide. Be deliberate in your actions and think before you act. Step back and take, that decide thing. It's hard to spread your energy out when you're multitasking in every direction at once. So what I'm really hearing is that you need to really focus on what it is you want and have all of those things kind of lined up so that they're not all happening at once, but that go right down the list. Okay. Be deliberate in your actions and think before you act. Step back and take a good, hard, objective look at your situation and be patient. Plan your next move carefully. It is essential that you maintain harmony. Let yourself play and awaken the child inside, staring wide eyed at the wonder of the world. I love that part of myself. Your child is really, wow, what a great giggle. Oh, be flexible and adventurous. It will fuel your imagination. Yeah, and bring that to your art. You're a very creative woman. Yeah. You can't see the bottom of the pond when the surface is turbulent. Escape from it all. Go to the ocean, even if it's just for a second. Expect to receive acknowledgement and reassuring news. Pleasure and amusement can teach you a great deal as long as you are willing to pay attention. Here is the entrance of the other on the physical level, the recognition of choice, of alternatives, and the action in relation to those choices. The search here is for means of growth in terms of physical health and security, work and advancement, and financial reliability. All right. Let me see who else we have here. All right, bear with me. I want to make sure I don't miss anybody here. Ah, Mary Jo. Yeah. Mary Jo's my friend that I do our yoga sound bath thing we do every Sunday morning. Very good friend. Mary Jo, take 3 really deep breaths and focus. You know the drill. Words of wisdom from my good friend Mary Jo. Words of wisdom from my good friend Mary Jo. Words of wisdom from my good friend Mary Jo. Hmm. Number 22, major master number, the angel of fame and renown. Love is not a business transaction. You can be placing conditions on your love. You are a true extremist. You can work too hard or you can play too hard, and you must now learn balance. Whole theme of the show tonight. Be aware when the world begins changing, when what was good begins to cause pain, the loss of happiness, the failure of a friendship, or dissolution when you find that your friends did not support you when you needed them. Never dwell on what's happening. Turn around and focus all your energies in a bright new direction. Experience your emotions completely. Go through them. Pull yourself up and take charge of your life again. Create. Immerse yourself in new interests. No more pity parties. There's a lot still to do, so much still to do. You have much yet to accomplish. Share the richness of your feelings in ways that support, comfort, and motivate other people. This will manifest tangible abundance for you. The tarot card for this is the Three of Cups. That's like, we talked about the Ace, the Two of Cups, and like the new relationship. The Three of Cups is a celebration at the wedding ceremony. Yeah, celebration. So, really super positive card. And keep doing what you're doing. Like keep going in, going out, going in, going out. And you do have lots of new stuff right on the horizon. All right. You're welcome, Jennifer McCormick. Yeah. All right. Lynn Juno, last one of the night here. Oh, ye of the purple hair. I so love Lynn's sense of humor, man. We're just kind of like getting to the beginning of realizing how twisted we both are. It's really fun. All right, girlfriend, get focused. Wow, good job. Words of wisdom from my good friend Lynn. Words of wisdom from my good friend Lynn. Words of wisdom from my good friend Lynn. Do, 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 do. Number 21, the angel. This is so funny. We could just stop at the title of the card. The angel of the ardent desire to learn. The storm has passed and your work has produced excellent results. Something great is on the way. Discover your talents and sensitivity that lie hidden just beneath the surface. We talked about this. Immerse yourself in your metaphysical pursuits and develop all of your innate abilities. Open your heart. Deep fulfillment is realized through love. Give and receive it. Do that already in a big way. Follow your heart and you will know joy. Your dreams and hopes will manifest and there will be a fairy tale ending. You and James just go walking off into the sunset. Success. You have begun a brand new lifestyle and found a love which is mutual. You have the ability to clearly communicate feelings, especially the positive, lighthearted feelings of love. You share your emotional treasure with friendship and hospitality. Like all of these are so true. You have much to celebrate. You are an excellent leader because you bring out the best in those around you. People reveal aspects of themselves and often hijack your readings that they normally couldn't share. People enjoy your company. You let them see the best in themselves. Yeah, there you go. You guys are awesome. You guys are really, really awesome. Yeah. All right. So, believe it or not, we're out of time already. And yeah, let me make sure I didn't miss anyone. Yeah, it looks like we did it. All right. So, if you could give me a hashtag live, leave a comment down below, hit the like and subscribe. Be very, 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 very grateful. Make sure that you stick around here and catch Jennifer Rose's. Hello, Jill. You're welcome. I love you too. Um, for Jennifer Rose's The Love Show coming up right after this, and it should be a really, really great week. Next week again, I'm having Colin Walker on. We're gonna explore the boundaries of the universe. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. Jennifer McCormick, you're so welcome. Yeah, always a pleasure. We're developing such a cool little family here. I'm going to go ahead and talk about this. Coming up in a few weeks on June 1st, Kelly Brickle's going to be on the show with me. And last year on that date, I lost my son. And actually it was the day before the show. And I decided to go ahead and do the show. And we wound up doing a group gather. We sent him off into the light. It was one of the most magical experiences I've ever had. And I'm looking really, really forward to that. And I'm looking really forward as we grow together for us to be able to make some things happen and connect in ways that only a group can. And it's really, really wonderful that you guys are on the path with me. I love sharing this part of the road with you guys. All right. Until next week. Yeah. 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 We're going to go out. Yeah, it'll be fun. All right. Hello, Brandy. I'm glad you could make it tonight. All right. Here we go. We joyously come to the close of our gathering and send everyone on their happy, bright, feeling better way. We so thank the angels, our guides and allies, for their wisdom, their knowledge, and their absolute love of the source. And with absolute gratitude, gratitude is the step in between despair and joy. With absolute gratitude for the good, the bad, and the ugly, infinite, unconditional love, and our wish for bliss to the source. Until next week, we close our circle. Be in the light.